Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive. This week I continue my three-part series on Cyberpunk 2020, talking about character creation. Character creation for Cyberpunk 2020, while not the first system to use a life path type system, handled it in a different way from other similar systems. Of course, this particular system is sort of a hallmark of our Telsurian games, and they use similar systems in games such as Mechton and other games that they released. But Cyberpunk 2020 was sort of their first example of it. And I really want to talk about it just because it's novel. So with that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy as I talk about character creation in Cyberpunk 2020. Before I begin, let me just say, if you like this video, please click like and subscribe down below. Leave comments, follow me on Twitter, tell me what you like, what you didn't like, what you'd like to hear me talk about more of in the future. Always looking for ways to help improve the channel. Support me on Patreon, link in the description. Every little bit helps keep me in books, keep the channel going. All that said, let's just get right on into this, shall we? So, when you start talking about character generation in Cyberpunk, the first thing you have to look at is your statistics. You have 9 attributes: intelligence, reflexes, technical ability, luck, cool, attractiveness, movement allowance, body, and empathy. And most of these are pretty self-explanatory. 2 that have some special stuff to deal with them are body or body type and empathy. Body type has a whole bunch of stats that come along with it. The number of points you have into your body or body type determines overall how strong you are. And it also applies a number of modifiers. Empathy is an important attribute because empathy is used to determine your humanity. You multiply your empathy by 10, and that determines what your humanity is. All cybernetic enhancements you get have a humanity cost. And every 10 points of humanity that you lose from those reduces your empathy by 1 point. And when your empathy gets to 0, you stop being a playable character and you get handed over to the GM to do with as he pleases because you're now a cyber psycho. Of course, not all's bad. There are ways, treatment, therapy, where you get strapped into a chair and a cyber doc pokes around in your brain, putting you through simulations to rebuild your brain into a more conductive to normal people state. So, you don't go off the deep end and start killing people just because, they're getting too close to you on the railway platform. Just saying. Now, how do you determine your starting levels and your attributes? Well, there are 2 main ways that players can use. These are really simple. one method, you roll 9d10, total them up, and spread those points however you choose between the attributes. The other way is you roll 1d10 for each attribute, re-rolling any scores of 2 or less, and then you arrange those as you see fit. Now there is, of course, one other option. The GM can make the call of assigning each person at the table a certain number of character points, and they distribute these between their attributes as they see fit, to a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 10. Now, for skills, everyone gets 40 points to spread between their 10 career skills. And there are multiple archetypes. Each archetype has its set of career skills. These are important because these are what they use to determine what they can do. Now, one of the career skills isn't actually a skill per se. It's the special ability related to your role. Each of the multiple archetypes, the solo, the nomad, the rocker boy, the netrunner, the corporate, the techie, the medtech, the media, the cop, and the fixer, they all have a unique ability. I mean, yes, there are skills that can be shared between them and picked up in addition to those. But only the solo, only the quintessential man of action, the quintessential combat expert, is going to have combat sense. Only the rocker boy has charismatic leadership. Only the medtech has the medical tech skill, which allows him to do all sorts of fun things like, surgery. The best anyone else has is first aid. And, each of them have a skill package that focuses on what their skills are. The solo, for example, has combat sense, of course, awareness, handgun, brawling or martial arts, melee, weapons tech, rifle, athletics, submachine gun, and stealth. The rocker boy has charismatic leadership, awareness, perform, wardrobe and style, composition, brawling, play instrument, streetwise, persuasion, and seduction. And these are essential skills to what they can do. And you spend 40 points between these on a 1-for-1 basis. So right now we're all at pretty much bog standard character creation. What any other game has. With these, you've built yourself the basic of your character, where you started from at age 16. Yes, that's right. All these are what you are considered base at 16. From there, you roll 2d6 and add the total to 16. That determines how old your character actually is. And then, for every year beyond 16, you roll on their nice life path chart. I mean, of course, before then, you've got your origins and personal style chart to roll, which mostly is just your ethnic origins and your clothes, hairstyle, and affectations. Great examples of the clothes would be 10 across, if you roll 10 3 times, you're bag lady chic with long straight hair and you wear fingerless gloves. And the ethnic origins are just the Anglo-American, African, Japanese, Central European, Soviet, Pacific Islander, Chinese, Southeast Asian, Black American, Hispanic American, Central South American, European. Family background, it basically determines, hey, is your family still alive? Do you get along well with them? Do you have brothers and sisters? How'd you grow up? That sort of thing. There's, of course, a random rules for motivations. You determine, what makes you kind of tick, like personality traits, what person you value most, what you value most, how do you feel about most people, what's your most valued possession, type things. And then come the life events. And it's on an even roll, something good happened. On an odd roll, something bad happened. And there's charts for all of these. There are varied charts. Everything from you made a friend or enemy, you got a girlfriend for a year, you ended up in prison, you got addicted to drugs, all those things. You had a financial windfall. Wow, that's kind of amusing. 2 is financial windfall. 3 is big score. Both essentially give you the same amount of money. But thing is, on the you get lucky, there's stuff that gives you boost to skills, boost to money, allies. On the disaster, there's stuff that either you don't get anything out of it, you end up losing money, or other bad stuff happens, like accidents, or you get hunted by people. And it's a simple, straightforward chart, but it's varied enough that it kind of gives you a different feel for your character. It actually builds a character. And of course, at the end of everything, you use the money that comes in from your life paths or your life events, from your starting funds, to gear up your character. And you're going to be doing this with weapons, cybernetic augmentations, the whole 9 yards. And all of these, take time, take effort to work with. That's why you had years to build everything up. And once you finish that whole process, you step out, ready to play. you step out a fully formed cyberpunk. And as a cyberpunk, there are 3 rules. These are the 3 guiding rules of not just cyberpunk characters, but of the setting in and of itself. Rule 1, style over substance. Rule 2, attitude is everything. Rule 3, always take it to the edge. And sometimes they say there's a rule 4, break the rules. With that, that's pretty much the overview of character creation in Cyberpunk 2020. Like I said, it's on some levels it's straightforward, and it's not anything too revolutionary, too earth-shaking in their life event system. But it's a lot more user-friendly than the infamous Traveler life module system. Well known for you finish it and you might not even have a living character. But that's a topic for another day. So, that was my discussion on the character creation. Next week, I will wrap up the series with a discussion on the system and how the system overall worked. Until then, I'd like you all to remember to have fun and keep gaming.